Hey everybody, we're at Hazardfest 2021 and I am sitting here with the legend, the beast, Dan Severn. Dan, how you doing?
Doing fantastic, Eric. Enjoying the festivities just like you.
My favorite all-time UFC fighter, guys, and that is no lie. It's on camera. I've loved your style. I've loved everything.
He's just saying it because I'm sitting right here. That's all.
No,
I think he said the same thing 2 booths over.
No. So one thing I like about Dan, look at this picture over here he's got, guys. You guys know what we talk about on the show with toxic masculinity. Dan, they say that we're suffering from toxic masculinity, but I believe with the fatherless issue and everything we've got going on, we're suffering from a severe lack of masculinity. I'm just curious. Let me ask you about toxic masculinity and get your thoughts on it.
Well, again, what we have going here, this is actually a podcast that I'm doing with another UFC legend, Don the Predator Fry. So the two of us, Don was actually one of my athletes when I was coaching at Arizona State. He came to me when he saw that I was in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. He goes, "Hey, Severn," he goes, "you think you can help get me into this event?" And I knew Don. I mean, like I said, he was one of my athletes when I was coaching at Arizona State. He lived with a couple of my younger brothers, so I knew Don like a brother. So I always tell people that I helped Don Fry get his foot in the door. Don Fry kicked that door wide open on his own ability. Now, the name toxic masculinity is what he came up. He goes, I go, what does this mean, this toxic masculinity? He goes, well, Severn, he goes, you and I are some of the worst people in the world. We're old white men and we believe in male values. I go, what do you mean by that? It's kind of like what you explained to me before. You know, when we're here allowing our children to wake up in the morning and decide for themselves if they want to be a man or a woman that morning, why don't you let them decide if they want to go to school or decide other things? A child is a child. I always tell people, why don't you just become a parent? You wanted to have a child, become a parent as well. Having a child and then not doing a parental duty, that is negligent on your behalf. And that's why there's a lot of stupidity running amok here in the United States, and a lot of it is just simply due to lack of leadership at all sorts of levels.
Yes, sir. I love it. He's not playing around here with it, guys. You talk about the leadership, and I believe one of the things that we're suffering from the most is the lack of fathers in the home. I think in the African-American households, we're around 75% of the households without a dad right now. We are suffering from this like we've never seen before, you know, and I know you're a dad. I'm curious, could you tell us what being a dad means to you?
Well, to me, it means a lot of different things. Now, again, I'm basically an empty nester at this point, so my kids are off doing their things, but being there and to instill, you know, I hate to say it, but as a parent, the word that your child hears out of a good parent's mouth most of the time is no. Okay? Yep. When they ask to do this, no. When they ask to do that, no. And then I hit them with a maybe, and I go, well, what do you mean by maybe? I have to think how many different ways it can go wrong, because it's not that you're trying to be mean to them. You want them to be around other good role models. Allowing your child to go play with kids that you don't think that are very, very good. It's okay if I'm out there and I'm supervising, but right. Simply to let them off on their own. No. That's something bad about to happen there. So again, a parent, you got to take some time, and you got to take some time to be with your child.
Well, you know, it's not the same world we once grew up in. I mean, we're seeing so much going on right now, and we got to make sure that we're keeping an eye.
Well, again, I normally I hold up the cell phone. Yep. I go, it's a great tool, but it's one of the worst things ever invented because of how it has made us a much more isolated society. Most people don't even. It's pretty sad when people, like a child may be upstairs, a teenager might be upstairs in their bedroom, and they're going to text down to mom or dad, who's downstairs, hey mom, what's to eat? Yeah. Oh, I'd be throwing a hand grenade up in that kid's room at that point in time.
Yeah, something that was meant to connect us has really disconnected us.
So in so many different ways. Yeah. I tend to regale on different stories. My oldest son at the time, he was bringing to my attention the word an allowance. He brought it to me, he's like, Dad, he goes, when do you think I'll start getting an allowance? I go, well, explain to me this word allowance and what does it mean to you? He goes, well, my one of my friends, he goes, because he cleans up his room and he makes his bed, he gets an allowance. I go, that's fine, I guess, in his household, and if that's his parents' rules are. I go, you live in my household. I buy the food, you eat it, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. You live on my roof. The rule is you clean up your room, and you pick up your toys, and you make your bed. I go, that's just because you live underneath my roof. If you want to live someplace else, you have that choice.
Yeah.
But you live underneath my roof. These are just some of my rules and guidelines. I just don't think enough parents put expectations of the child, and if you don't put any kind of expectations, why do you think our world is kind of falling apart around us?
Kids need tough love.
Yeah.
They need tough love. That's what, molds our kids into what they need to be. And when kids don't have boundaries, we see what ends up happening. There's lots of consequences with it.
You'll see a lot of kids that they start parenting each other. They'll get into their little groups, their little gangs. And again, are they doing it correctly? Well, for the most part, no. We are living in strange times when people simply need to stepping forward and go, enough is enough.
That's it.
This is wrong, and make a stand. I mean, I'll tell people that I declare my little piece of property. This is my country.
Yeah.
I allow you to come onto my property, but you must abide by my rules.
Right.
When we allow open borders and let people just spill on in, and yet you're telling other Americans, wear a mask, get vaccinated, and you're just going to let other people come on in with who knows what are they carrying in. I mean, it's, again, lack of leadership from a very low level to the very highest level in our country. Lack of leadership.
Yep.
And people that are not being accountable for the stupidity of what they're doing to our country. Sure. I mean, again, on different levels. We're here talking about just parenting, and we talked a little bit about toxic masculinity, awesome. but again, they're just parenting. Anyone can have a child. It takes a special person to be a parent, and that's where a lot of sure, fathers are really big into the making a baby aspect, but okay, what are you gonna do for that next 18, 20 years of life? 18 years that they're basically should be underneath your roof. From that point on, they should be somewhere else, or in that process of going somewhere else. So, and sometimes they'll fail, and they may have to come back to mom or dad's for a little bit. But then mom or dad should be there to help to retool them, tell them get back out there. But
I said you're one of my favorite fighters, but after hearing this, I mean, you might even be a more amazing person, man. I love everything that you just said. And guys, look at this merchandise right here. Is there somewhere that people can find this, Dan?
Well, you can go to my website, dansevern.com. But even at the website, my website is under construction. You'll see things, and there's ways of contacting me. But if they try to buy something off the website, they're not going to be able to check out because it's being revamped. Some new things are being put on up. Some old things are being taken on off. Some new price changes that have been made on the things. So they can see some cool things, and they'll be able to reach out to me through that avenue so that I can let them know how soon it'll be back up, and or if they want to buy something now, I can screenshot certain things to forward it to them. So there's ways of doing anything and everything.
There you go. The beast, the man, the dad, Dan Severn. Thank you so much, my man.
Nope, I appreciate having me on. And again, just fellas, it doesn't take much there to, your child needs to be hugged, and they got to be told the word no. That's the hardest thing there is when you combine both of them. I have like my oldest daughter. I was never going to have a son named after myself, but I always thought that Danielle was a pretty name for a girl. So when my first daughter was born, and my wife was asking her, well, what should we name her? I go, they didn't even hesitate, Danielle. And she's in the process of packing up, and she'll be heading to the Boston, Massachusetts area. So it doesn't matter that she's lived a few different states already, and basically has come back home for a little bit, but now she's heading out to Boston, Mass to once again spread her wings and fly and try to do her own thing. So I always tell her, I says, Dad is only a phone call away, and you might be surprised how many people I know in that state that if you are in need of some help, I'll get you some help.
There you go. Sounds like you're a proud father.
Well, you have to be.
That's it. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Dan.
Yep. Welcome.
Hey everybody, Eric Carroll here. Thank you for tuning in to another exciting episode of Dad Talk Today. While we fight for you, we would ask for you to please help fight for us. Like, subscribe to our channel, and ring that bell so you get notifications every time we go live. There's also super chats, patreon.com/dadtalktoday, and other ways you can support our channel. Thank you for being here, and we will see you next time.